Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of my Halloween 2020 special edition video. So yes, you guys saw part 1. You saw what I've shown so far, so I'm going to start by showing this guy one more time. This is an encore of showing my Freddy 4 custom, because since then I had added a little extra something for the beach scene in part 4. The infamous sunglasses. Check that out. And I found these sunglasses on eBay, and they technically fit perfectly. And they look almost identical to the ones he actually wore in the movie. So I just added that little piece to, the already, perfectly posed Freddy Part 4 Dream Master that I showed in Part 1. So I just wanted to revisit that real quick. But moving on to some new stuff. So I want to show this guy now to officially kick off Part 2, to show some more new stuff. And speaking of Part 2, this represents Jason Part 2, Friday the 13th Part 2, when Jason became a boy, or went from a boy to a man. And this, to start off with, is the base from the Sideshow figure. And this is the infamous One's Customs, once again making yet another appearance in my vid with his awesomely done and haired Pamela Voorhees dead zombie sculpt. Obviously the infamous head he kept with him in his cabin after she was long gone and her head was chopped off. So this, I got a nice little accessory. I found that somebody was selling this on eBay, and I picked it up because it goes perfectly with this guy. And there's the pig splitter I promised to show you in Part 1 when I told you I would show it again with the figure that I was going to display him with. And once again, Chris East, as you know from Part 1. Here is the sacked version of Jason 2. This version is a custom version, or basically started out as a Sideshow, I guess, reworked into a custom one. Very well done. The detailing is very well done. This is done by John M. Carr. Many have seen them coming up strong. I believe his alias name for his company is Mara Image, I believe. Mara Image Customs. And if I'm wrong about that, but I'm going to specify it on the video. I'm going to put it in caption below. But I know that's kind of what his alias is going to be. And I know his reasoning behind it is because he tries to make a mirror image of the screen used character, to 1/6 form. So pretty cool. So that's the sack version. This version doesn't come off. Obviously, the sack doesn't come off. It's made to kind of stay on. I mean, you can. The Sideshow sculpt, I believe, the original Sideshow sculpt is under there, but he shaped it and meant it to be permanent. Or I guess I shouldn't say permanent, but meant for the sack to stay on. He spent a long time, futzing with it to get it to like the perfect shape. The shirt is cool that he used. He completely reworked and redid the overalls, as you could see. Basically, I'm getting like a light glare here, sorry, but let me just see if I could zoom in better here. So basically he added like better buttons and little things, little details. He weathered and darkened the coveralls, or the overalls, I should say, and weathered them with dirt and stuff, basically to be more screen accurate, to be better than, what it was out of the box originally. Nice shoes, bloodied up shoes. Well, I shouldn't say bloodied up, muddied up shoes, weathered. There's better lighting. He gave extra hands that I could change it into, as you can see there. So let me just see if I can turn it a little bit. I'm having a little trouble with the lighting because of the time of day. So you could see there. So very well done. The video doesn't do it justice. It definitely has more detail. See if I could turn it this way a bit so you can kind of see. There you go. There you go, see? So very well done. Weathering, the dirt, the mud stains, everything. The back of it, really, 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 really nice. So he did a really good job on that. So that is the custom Part 2 Jason I have. I do have an older one that I did with the custom sculpt, so I might reuse that for parts. Or what I might do is I might repurpose that and use the parts, or use it as an unmasked version, since I do like the custom sculpt I have with that one. So basically, I like a lot. All right, well, this guy totally has no business being in a Halloween vid, but had to show him real quick for comic relief. So this is my Dumb and Dumber kit bash I did of Lloyd. Obviously, the non-tuxedo version, which, by the way, I still have those tuxedos, the blue and the orange, that I have to put together with the set that was done a long time ago. I have the sculpts. I got to get them painted or paint them by myself, whatever I'm going to do. But I always wanted this version too, and I've seen a run of these, and some people do these, so I thought this would be pretty cool to show. And this is obviously his casual dress version, not the freakishly orange or blue tuxedo that they wore. And basically, I saw a couple of the runs of these. I said, you know, based on what I saw in the prototypes and what they use, I said I could pretty much do this myself. And I wanted to have fun putting it together myself. I found the head. I saw the head on eBay, so I got the head. Head's pretty decent. You know, it's not like the high end, but it's good. It might call for a repaint at some point, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty well done, even down to the detail of the chipped tooth. So I got the shirt, which was like a very bright orange when I first got it, but I dyed it like red to darken it. And, you know, by doing so, I kind of got it more of I think a screen accurate color, because the shirt pretty much is kind of like a brick red, or like a reddish orange, like a dark orange, almost red tint. So that's kind of where I got it now. The jacket was like from some military figure that was more of a brown color, like a light brown, that I dyed. I cut off some pockets, cut off some things to kind of make it match more of his jacket, and then I dyed it to make it more of a gray color to kind of match. Obviously, the pants is like a darker gray. Got the sneakers. So, and I got the extra briefcase from the whole Samsonite. I was way off. So anyway, that's just a little add-in I just wanted to show. Really not relevant to the more coolest stuff that we're showing here, obviously, for Halloween. So, moving right on. Jason killed Lloyd for me. All right, I'm just having too much fun with my toys now. Anyway, all right, moving right along. Going to show the next figure. All right, so continuing right along with my Halloween vid extravaganza. I'm actually here at my workplace right now. I came in because a package arrived here for me, and it's none other than from C Creations, or David Tucker. C Creations Custom. The Imposter Roy full set. And it's funny because, once again, 10/20 is the date, right? And then the head sculpt is done by One's Customs. And again, it says 10/20, just like I said in the part 1, the certificate I got for the concept Jason X2. So, must be meant for me, because October 20th is my birthday. So, it's all meant for me. But anyway, I'll start off. So, you know, I got 2 cool COAs here. So I'm actually here at my job filming this, because while I was here at night to pick up my package, which is near where I live, I came in and I'm all here by myself. So I figured, let me film this right now as I just unboxed it. Got this in time to include with the video, which I'm very happy about. So once again, I get to show another One Custom piece, as well as some of C Creation Customs work, aka David Tucker, who's awesome at doing some full figures with One's Customs head sculpts as the topper. So as you see, it comes with the other hands, closed fist hands, you know, weapon holding hands for the left hand, and relaxed hand. And then I have here, there he is. I have him with the open, kind of tense hand. He's holding a weapon hand in his right hand. I have him holding the flare, which is brilliant, by the way. And I'm going to use this because this is unique. I've never had a Roy before that had this accessory. So I saw David pose it this way on his site when he was showing the figure, and I was like, yeah, that's it, man, that's it right there. And here's the figure, and here's the coveralls. Very well done. And this is the body, the coveralls, the accessories, hands, weapons. There's the shears, this infamous cutting shears that does open and close. Nice touch, put some blood on it. Machete, and like I said, it comes with the flare. So the coveralls, the weathering and the blood work and all that stuff, the shoes, everything was done by David Tucker. And then of course there is the beautiful head sculpt done by One's Customs. Woo! So obviously this is always a nice topper on the top of the Christmas tree. And as you can see here, this is without the mask, so there's the sculpt. And we've known that One has done plenty of Roys in the past, and he's always done a good job with the head sculpt. This one is no exception. You know, he keeps getting better and better as time goes on. So very nice detail on the fake head that he wears wrapped around his regular head with the face sculpt underneath. Very nice details there. See if I can move it a little, get it a little closer without it getting blurry. There we go. If I do it slow, look at that. So beautiful, 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 beautiful. Look at that very deal. You can even see the pores in the skin, and you know what I love about one's work, man, is you can always tell that, you know, he's a sculptor, man, with his hands. You could see that natural sculpting ability right there. That's not like, you know, that's raw talent right there, you know, as he does these sculpts, and then he obviously makes his own molds and casts them. Beautifully done. And here's the mask. You know, he went on a more like weathered tan side, like a dirty, you know, dirtiness on the mask, which is nice. And he even did the little subtle touches like the extra blue specks of paint that I guess has been seen on the mask in the movie. We all know that Friday the 13th is always one for continuity errors, or just kind of doing things on the cusp and really fast, and that's always the fun part of these movies. So this was from Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, and this is the imposter Jason that, as you know, we all know. I mean, sorry for the spoiler if you've been living in a hole or a cave for the last 30 plus years, but as we all know, it wasn't really Jason, right? This is Jason took a little vacay and took a sequel off for this one, although he was seen in the dream sequences of stuff, as we know, and he did return then in Jason Lives. But they tried something different with this one. I guess they were trying to not cop out the fans by bringing him back after they, you know, had the final chapter. So they went with this. But obviously money talks and Hollywood rolls on, and they decided to bring Jason back anyway. But still, this was a fun film in its own right, and obviously has become its own cult following, and its own, has a nice story to it, and you know, it's still well loved and part of the series of the franchise that the fans love at this point. So Roy is definitely in the Hall of Fame right next to Jason for this movie. So once again, just a real quick look at this, and huge shout out to David Tucker for completing this figure. It's beautiful. Oh, the straps are a little messed up, but that's my fault, the way I put the mask on, and that's what I get for doing it one-handed. Actually, I'm going to pause it for 1 second. This way I can fix all that up. Okay, so I got the mask back on right. As you can see now, the straps are pretty much in place. So there it is on the back. There's the back of the coveralls, pockets, the details, the holder for the hammer or tools. Nice weathering. Like I said, I want to give a huge shout out to David Tucker as well. He's come a long way, you know, with his customizing and his weathering and his tailoring. These coveralls are really nice. They feel nice, good quality. There's the cut with the blood, the cut with the blood stains on his, you know, his stomach, his abdominal area, like in the movie. I believe he got that with a pitchfork or something, right? If I remember the movie correctly. It's been a while since I saw that one. And again, and like I said, nice touch with the weapons. So, you know, overall, it's a well cohesive figure, a nice collaboration between the two artists as usual. You can see the straps. There's the back of the coveralls, the collar. Like I said, let me straighten out the collar there a little bit. So again, you could probably put the collar up or put it down like that, so it kind of folds like that in the front. This always had more of the Michael Myers look, right? Like with the blue coveralls, one piece, as opposed to pants and shirts. So I just took the weapons off him. I just wanted you to see the figure more in detail, you know, in hand. And like I said, look at the nice mud and the shoes. Everything is really nice. So like I said, overall, well done. I'm repeating myself at this point. Even a little detail having the one button there, right? Not the button on the other side. So really well done by David and One's Customs. And, you know, thank you guys, both of you, once again, for giving me a great figure into my collection. And he will be cherished, and he fits right in as part of the Friday the 13th series of movies. This will always have a special place in our hearts, you know, for continuing the franchise while trying to be unique, you know. But obviously, Jason came back, and the rest is history. So, sorry, Roy, you only got one movie, but, you know, better to be an honorable mention than not there at all. And like I said, he's got his own cult following at this point, so he's cool. So I just want to show you really quick too, before I wrap it up here and move on to the next figure. You know, I take my horror collection to my work as well, and these are on my desk. This is actually my computer desk where I work right now. Here's my monitors. I'm only here part-time as an essential worker because of COVID, so most of the time I'm working remote. But this is my office, this is my keyboard, and where I sit, and I just wanted to share that real quick while I'm here. And as you can see, I have the Mezco figures of all these guys. So horror is always with me, guys, even when I'm earning my paycheck. So there's Freddy, there's Michael Myers with his pumpkin back there, there's Jason Part 3, and then there's this remake Jason, which actually, this one's a different company. I forgot at the moment which one makes that, but that's not part of the Mezco series of these guys. He's a different one. I forgot. I think he's the Star East. I think it's that collection. I don't remember exactly, but cool figure in its own right. And the masks do come off and stuff. And here's the bloody variant version of the Part 3. And of course I have Chucky and the bride, Tiffany. So really, really cool. And I just wanted to share this for the Halloween vid and show you guys that even when I'm at work, man, horror and that my love for it, the passion is there. So anyway, that's that. Just want to show you guys real quick. There's Roy. Beautiful. Okay, moving on to the next figure. All right, guys, I'm back with my next figure. And this is one that I can truly say that I've been putting some love in for a little bit. I'll give you a little history on this and everything I have here. This is obviously Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. And it's a bash. It's one that I've been working on. And basically, the history of this figure is this. Most of these accessories and stuff I found on eBay. Somebody made and sold them that I picked up. And this is the original mask that came with basically the base figure that I bought. But it needed more work as far as to fulfill my vision of what I wanted. So, but it's really nice. This is really nice. And this is like basically his tombstone with a little grass base, which is a nice little touch. So it's a little nice side piece. And it came with this sign. I guess the guy printed it, makes them himself. The dock, I actually saw this. It's actually like a picture frame that I saw in Hobby Lobby. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, man, this looks like a dock or something Jason or, a horror guy should be standing on. So I'm going to work on that more and maybe make it like a little diorama for myself. Never really did dioramas, but I'm going to have a little fun with it, But for now, it kind of makes a nice little standing base that makes it look like he's on a dock, as you could see there. And I found this Friday the 13th 3D sign, which is great. Also on eBay. Forgot the seller's name, otherwise I'd give him a shout out as well. But if you search for this, I'm sure you'll see it if he still has any. Obviously 3D printed, and he sold them in different sizes, and they were pretty cheap. I was like $10 or $12 or something, and I think he makes like smaller ones or bigger ones. So I picked one that's kind of like not ridiculously big, but big enough. And it's kind of cool. You can put it in front of him, you can put it next to him. And what I eventually want to do is, like, when I have all my Jasons that I've been, either buying or working on, all kind of together in display, I'd love to put that in front, kind of representing, the whole deal. So it's pretty cool. So really what it was the base was here, and the guy that I bought it from had the shirt. He had sort of like a homemade pouch that I didn't really like, so I replaced the pouch with one that's a little bit more similar to the screen accurate one, or one that like the sideshow one comes with. It did come with the feathers on the darts, but they were like a little big, so I kind of trimmed them down, and then I cut off and made the feathers a little more short and kind of closer to the tip of the dart, like to be more screen accurate. So it's the way it's like kind of peeking out of the pouch instead of like hanging down. So I worked on that, and like I said, I bought the pouch, got the gloves going, and I kind of worked on the gloves and weathered them more. Came with a little heart accessory, so I got him holding that. And the pants I worked on, weathered the pants up, and kind of worked on the bottom part of the pants, kind of, battle damaged them, basically, or kind of tried to make them look true to form. The mask, like I said, this was the original mask that came with it, and I replaced it with a Oz mask, Justin Oz Williams. We all know he makes fantastic hockey masks, and then also 1/6 hockey masks, and that's pretty accurate. The sculpt underneath, I added these stab wounds from the pole into the shirt. I went prior to the paintball gun. I didn't put the paintball marking in the front. Maybe I will, I don't know. Right now I'm kind of liking it without it, to be honest with you. So like I said, cane sculpt that I worked on, painting, and I kind of went like, has a little moss and said, kind of went more with the, kind of like the grayish corpse look, as opposed to doing it like with a more greenish or brown look. So it's kind of, so that's kind of like that. And I've had that cane sculpt in my house unpainted forever. So replaced the head that was there with that one, and then also updated the machete. Now this right here is I told you in part one about Chris Yeast's weapons, and here's another one that he did for me. And as you can see, this machete is different than the one I showed you in part one. This is actually made to be a Jason 6. And I thought about throwing blood on it, but honestly, it looks so nice, clean with the Mara finish. Look at that. I mean, this thing is so nice, and it's heavy, and again, it's a real blade, okay? And then I also purchased from him, and he hooked me up with this. Hold on, let me pause it. Okay, so I paused it for a second. So there's the pouch that Chris hooked me up with, custom-made pouch. But this is the knife that he made for it, the Army knife. Look at this thing. This thing would also be good for like a Rambo. It's a hunter's knife, you know, that kind of military knife style. Really nice. And again, look at the work he's done with this. And again, this thing is sharp. This thing will cut you. It is crazy realistic. Again, more testament to Chris Yeast's work and with Distress Labs. Unbelievable. I mean, I am so in love with this guy's weapons. It's unbelievable. I mean, the sturdiness of it. I mean, geez. I mean, honestly, it is amazing. So, you know, when you add like these type of weapons to whatever figure you have or you're doing or bashing or whatever, it just automatically raises the bar to the figure. I mean, it just puts it to a whole nother level. So really, really, really nice. Very happy with how this turned out. Like I said, you know me, I collect low end, high end, all end, but I also still like to bash once in a while. I still enjoy it, and it's still in me, and this is another example of it. So there you are, the Jason Lives bash, and now moving right on. All right, guys, so everybody recognizes that. As soon as you see that, you know this is Leatherface we're talking about here. And this is the 3-0 chainsaw. And the figure I'm about to show you is basically based off the 3-0 Leatherface. Now, this is what you call a hidden gem. I just happened to be perusing eBay one day, and I'm always looking, and I came across this. All right. Check that out. Now, let me explain to you this figure. So this is obviously the 74 Leatherface, and the clothing, the body, and pretty much everything except the apron and this weapon here, which I'll explain in a minute, came from the 3-0 Leatherface. This guy, and he goes by, I promised I'd give him a shout out because he did a fantastic job, I think. So he goes by the name of Disco Pinhead. So keep an eye on him, look him up on eBay. He's the one that sold this for a very reasonable price, by the way. Nothing over the top at all. And he basically took the 3-0 figure, which we all know was a good Leatherface, but it needed some work. And that is the original head sculpt that he reworked. I mean, it looks so much better and so different that I almost question whether it was a completely different sculpt or custom one or what. But he reworked and repainted the actual 3-0 sculpt. And, you know, you can kind of see it. You know, there's remnants of it. I mean, there's definitely evidence of that being the original sculpt. And obviously he said that he, you know, repaired it and reworked it and repainted it. So I think he kind of maybe added some sculpting to it, or maybe he, you know, changed it a bit, because it definitely does have a different look and shape to it, even where the eyebrows are and everything else. But the hair he kind of trimmed and reshaped to kind of look a little more screen accurate. And man, did he do an excellent job. So Disco Pinhead, you know, shout out to you. So basically, and the apron here is obviously not the 3-0 apron. I suspect this is the Sideshow, the old Sideshow apron, but he did a fantastic job. I have other aprons, but to be honest with you, they're actually better quality than this. And he told me straight out, this is just a cloth apron, but it fits perfect. The blood stain and the yellow that he made it looks really nice. I mean, he really made it look nice. He bloodied it up and weathered it really well. And honestly, I have other ones that you could technically say are better, custom ones, but I put them on this figure, and to be honest with you, right now I'm leaving this one. I like this one better. I think the fit and everything about it is actually better than some of the other custom ones I have. So, you know, we'll see what happens down the road if I keep this one or not. Obviously, the tie, everything else is 3-0. The body's 3-0. The shoes and the pants are 3-0. This is an old Sideshow stand I had that I just have them on for now to hold them in place. He included this bucket, this custom bloody bucket that comes with that beautiful head sculpt here, decapitated head that he threw in with this purchase. And let me see if I can take this off his hand so you can kind of see it. Okay, see it better. It does come out, but I wanted to take it out of the bucket so you guys can see. This is really nicely done. Look at that. Blood and guts and decapitation. Gory, yes. So really nice. Just a nice throw-in is the hit in the head that he took from the hammer that he is sporting, and I'll get into that hammer in a minute. So really well. This is like such a, like I said, I feel like I really feel like I caught a gem. You know, I feel like I found a gem in disguise on eBay for a really fair price. And of course, this is the chainsaw, which is not really. It is kind of the way it was, I think, from 3.0. I mean, I don't know. He might have added blood or stuff. I don't really remember by default if that's how it came by default with 3.0. What I am going to do is I have the green paint. I am going to kind of make it, you know, more green and give it more of the green tint. This one definitely has a better tint to it than the old Sideshow one, and it's a little smaller, more accurate in size. But it still needs to be more green. It's a little more, it's still yellow, although it does sort of have a greenish, a slightly less greenish or less yellowish tint than the original Sideshow one. So it's definitely an improvement, but it definitely needs to be more green. So again, there's the stand from the Sideshow figure, and like I said, it's really nice. So he didn't have the bracelet, so he said he didn't have the exclusive 3.0 figure, but I did. So I added the bracelet, you know, right there. So he is sporting the bracelet, and then once again, courtesy of Chris Yeast, he sold me, and he has this hammer, and I showed this to you in the group of weapons from the first part of my vid, and here he is now holding it. So this is being put to good use. And again, this is real metal. This is really heavy. And look at the wood and look at the handle. Again, Chris Yeast, man. I've mentioned him so many times in these two videos. It's ridiculous, but man, he deserves it. So that's Leatherface 1974, 1/6 scale. It's basically a hybrid kit bash custom between 3.0 and some bashing work to kind of elevate it, and it really is really to me is very nice. You know, it is what it is, but it definitely was elevated and looks so much better, and it's basically on another level now. So I'm going to work on that on the back here to kind of give it a little more natural tied look, because I did take the apron off. But again, it's very well done. Very well done. So I'm very happy with this, and now I have, once again, a nice 74 Leatherface in my collection to represent this guy. All right, guys, so there you go. A couple of my latest custom kit bash, what have you, in my collection. Very well done. This one, I didn't really do as much to it. This one, I kind of put more of my own love into it. So, but both great figures, and I'm proud to have them. All right, guys, moving on. Okay, so moving on right along, just wanted to show this next figure really quick. This one is a little treat done by the very talented Handmade, who has been around for a bit. If you remember, he did the Leprechaun that I showed, I think, last year. And he's done a lot of cool stuff. The Nun, he does his own version, I believe, of The Exorcist, Reagan, and so on. Really cool stuff. He's flying under the radar, but he's there, and he's making his mark. His name is Handmade. This is the certificate of authenticity for Chucky, number 3. Now, of course, at the time that they were doing the run for Chucky with Unisil doing the clothes and all that, I wasn't around. I wasn't in the hobby as much at that point, so I couldn't spend the money or participate in that, so I missed out on that. But that's okay. This little guy will fill the need just fine. Look at that, Chucky. And he did go off Child's Play 2, the look of Child's Play 2 for this figure. Look at that face. Now, he did a really good job with this. And, you know, what's impressive about Handmade is that he does have attention to detail. He does his own clothing as far as you know, we know. And, you know, he does a good job. And this is on a little body that is articulated. I don't know if it's to scale. It is small. It's almost like maybe a little slightly bigger, or maybe on the same scale as the what is it, the Mezco ones or the NECA ones that are, you know, when they release like the one with the normal face and then the one with the angry face, which I do have those too. So I'll display these all together at some point. So it kind of blends in with that. There's this little knife that comes with it. Let me just take that off. There's like a little fuzz on the end of that knife. Sometimes you can't see these things until you see it in the camera. Okay, I think I got it. So there's his little knife. And the outfit's actually really good. The shirt, the buttons, his little shoes. And I did compare it with the commercially released one. And it is different. So he didn't just use that outfit. He actually, and same thing with the leprechaun. Very well done. The clothing and the outfit. It looks very authentic. There's the wild hair going all over the place. It's like, and the face is really nice. It's very accurate. It's animated. It has that style, that cartoony kind of style, which is kind of cool. I like that. And like I said, every artist has their stamp and I their interpretation. So I always like that. And you know me, I always like to collect from various artists, not just like, ones that are the most popular. And I've dealt with this guy before. Very friendly, communicates, answers you right away. His prices are very good, very fair. And look at this. It's really well done. And I just wanted to show it in the vid. Good articulation. The legs do bend. Okay, the arms do go up and down. So the body is somewhat, articulated. So it's not just like a statue, basically, that just sits there. And let's see, if we were to compare it to the other figures I've shown. So let's say, for example, here's my Dumb and Dumber again. That's what he would look like to scale. So, again, it's not bad. It's pretty much the 1/6 scale. So, I don't know exactly the right measurements, or Freddy's like, Chucky, you're now mine. So I don't know. I don't know like exactly how it measures up, if it's like, a little smaller or if it's supposed to be a little bigger. But compared to everyone, all the other options out there, it's pretty much on par. And Chucky is a doll, so he's supposed to be smaller, so that's fine by me. And look at that. Yeah. I really am digging the look on this. He really captured, and the bright blue eyes, he really captured the part 2 look, and that's what he said he based this on. So pretty cool. And I have number 3 that he's made so far. So there you go. So Horror Handmade. Give him a look. He's on Instagram mainly. I communicate with him on Instagram. I don't know. I don't think he has a presence on Facebook, at least not yet. He might. I haven't noticed, but I always talk to him on Instagram. So look him up. Check out his pictures and get a Chucky or get a Leprechaun or get something that he's doing, because he does good work, and it's a very fair price. And by the way, the head does turn too, so the head is articulated as well, so you can turn the head left and right and so on. So just wanted to show that real quick, and moving on. In 1978, John Carpenter gave us probably the most iconic characters of horror of all time, in the name of Michael Myers. For 40 plus years, he has stalked our theaters in sequels, all kinds of variations and what have you. But to this day, he is still relevant. Recently in 2018, they did a comeback, 40 years later anniversary, where he returned to Haddonfield to once again stalk his prey and the infamous Laurie Strode. In Halloween 2018, another masterful person named Beta Motali and his partner Taylor Lupita took on the project of bringing this new version of Myers to life in their 1/6 form, as they've successfully done many times before with various other characters. Today, without further ado, I give you that figure. I give you the expanded edition, deluxe set, Halloween 2018, 1/6, Michael Myers. Okay, guys. Well, we've obviously reached the main event. And I was really hoping these would make it in time, mainly because I love to bookend these videos for the part 1 and part 2 of my Halloween special 2020 edition in 1/6 form. And I started this video by showing you a classic 1/6/78 Myers on the porch of his very house from the original movie. And now I end the video by showing you his form now in the latest edition, Halloween 2018, that was done only a couple years ago. And unfortunately, we were robbed of seeing the sequel this year. They're going to do it as a trilogy. They have Halloween Kills, that was next, and then Halloween Dies, from what it is at this point, unless they change something. And it's unfortunate that because of due to COVID, they delayed the movie, so we have to wait another year. But so far, I think they're off to a good start. My only gripe with the movie is that it ignored Halloween 2, one of my faves, so that's a little hard to swallow. But other than that, as far as being a continuation to the original movie and it taking place so many years later, I thought they did a great job, recapturing the feel of the original franchise. And they even did their best to kind of, as you can see here, kind of figure out what the mask would look like if it aged, and their interpretation of what the original mask would look 40 years later, after he got the mask back miraculously by the documentary makers, which, okay, that may have been a little flaky, but, whatever. It was just an excuse to get the mask back on his head, right? So here we have, like I said, done by the great Beta Metalli and his partner in crime, Lupita. They give us the, in this case, the Platinum, I guess, Expanded Edition is the official term from the COA, and I was lucky enough to get 1 of 10. I bought this very early on, and because it's my love of Myers, and because at the time I wasn't sure if I was going to stay in the hobby, and I wanted to kind of have one last grail, one last hurrah, which luckily I am still here, but at the time I wasn't sure. I went all out with this one, because when it comes to Myers, I'll always spoil myself. And this does not disappoint. There's always going to be critics. There's always going to be people that may think that it needs a little this or needs a little that. And, in some cases they may be right. And in other cases they might just be picky because of one reason or another. But, there's definitely detail there on the mask, as you could see. We all know Beta Metalli has very detailed eyes, for screen accuracy and being detailed, sometimes to a fault. Sometimes he's a little too detailed to the point where, hey, why don't you have a little more fun with it and dirty it up some more or weather it some more? But he's very precise on how he wants his product to look and how the finished mold and the sculpt comes out. So, he's got all the details there, as you could see. The paintwork is there. You could definitely see the age and the creases and the wrinkles and in this case, the battle damage. This is the battle damage head. So, and the hair is great. The hair stays put and is kind of shorter, kind of giving you that Dick Warlock Halloween 2 look that he kind of sported in the movie. And, he definitely got the damaged eye and the subtle blood there that you could see from the eyeball, the damaged eyeball. See, right there. There's the good eye, there's the better eye, and it's painted very nice, and you could see the damaged eye there with a little blood around the mask. And he's got the blood or the the original injury from there's the bullet hole injury right there. He's got the hole in the mask from the original sewing needle, right, poke in the neck. And very good, very well done, very well done, very well done. As I'm trying to get a peek into here so you can see more details. So there you go. See that? Look at that. That's awesome. And he's got the blue shirt underneath, which technically for this film is accurate. So this film was definitely more of a bluish look to the coveralls, which he did capture here. On the camera, it is coming out a little more lighter gray, and it does still have like a charcoal grayish blue tint to it, sort of like the original coveralls, but he did make it fit a little bit more of the color difference that this movie had versus the original. And I know that's been a controversy for years. So here I'm using other holding weapon hands and normal hands that has subtle blood stains on it. I chose to go with the relaxed hand here, but that has some, as you can see, blood stains and a little bit of weathering on the hands. He did well with the weathering. He has the infamous hammer that comes with it as one of the weapons. And the coveralls are great. Here's the shoes. Shoes are great. See if we can get some good lighting on there. I can go on and on and on, but excellent job. And this is the normal version, like I said. So basically, why do I have two boxes? So here's the box. They're both the same box, except each box has 2 pictures on each side. So I displayed each box on the opposite. So this is the back of the box, or the front of the box, I guess, depending on what you look at it, which way you look at it. And this is the front of the box, I would imagine, because this says custom horror figures, H40 Michael Myers, so on and so forth. There's Lou Santos, and there's Beto, and made in Mexico, 2020, and all the whole thing. So he made it look like a movie poster, which is pretty cool with the infamous heart-eyed pumpkin. You don't believe in the boogeyman? Question mark. He's waited for this night. So basically, I got 2 whole boxes. The boxes are the same, but I got 2 boxes because I got this expansion, this expanded edition. Here's the tombstone. Our beloved daughter, Judith Myers, born in November 10th, 1947, died October 31st, 1963, this infamous sister. Very nice. It feels like, it's got like almost like a statue porcelain kind of feel to it, but it's rough. It feels like cement, so it's pretty cool. Let me just get that to stand right there. All right, so moving on to the tombstone, I'll show you some of the other various hands that come with. Now, he gives you the battle damage hand, and I believe that you get one regardless if you get the expanded version or not. So you get this, and I have a total of 3. Now I have 2, I think 1 for each figure. And then the one that I have on the battle damage version, as you can see the blood there that he added to the coveralls, which is a nice little touch. He gave a more dramatic, more bloodier looking hand. Let's see if I could stay focused in so you can really see it there. See? Look at that. Gory. Now, I remember he said something about this. He mentioned that he wanted to kind of go with one hand that was kind of more, I guess, movie accurate, realistic. And then he wanted one, I think, that was a little bit more gory, if I remember. So he ended up giving both. So included is our jack-o'-lantern here that he made from the cop. Look at that. That's awesome. This in itself, in its own right, is cool. It's another full head sculpt with this sculpt. This is a magnificent head sculpt and paintwork right here. This is looking really gruesome and nice. And I'm going to show you a little trick that he did with it, which, of course. And, of course, this is the doctor's pen. This was an extra add-on that you had to pay for, a little extra. I think it was like $25 or something that he offered to go with the figure. So, like I said, I went balls out with this one. And then, of course, the COA. That, like I said, has the heart-shaped pumpkin on it, the same as the box, and it's 1 of 10. So I know he has other COAs for like the advanced edition and so on and so forth, but I guess out of the expanded editions, I have the 1st of 10. So he did different COAs based on which version you got. Additional hands, relaxed hands. So I basically got almost 2 of each hand because of having the 2 bodies, right? And he gave one like kind of dramatic open hand that we know Myers is infamous for. So I didn't go with that right now. I went with the relaxed hand. And then this little beautiful stand here that has a tea light. So what he did was, and I'm going to show you this, which is cool. I'm sure you guys know already. When you turn the tea light on, like so, okay, you have the choice. You could put the pumpkin on it. See, and it flickers like a real light, which, by the way, is awesome. And you know what? Let me, hold on a second. I'm going to pause this. Okay, so I paused it, but I wanted to turn the kitchen light off so you could see. But I'm filming this one in the kitchen because I wanted better lighting so you really could see everything nice. So there you go. There's the heart. The top of the pumpkin does come off. See, you can see in there. All right, so that's a nice little touch. Now, what you could also do is you could take this off. Okay, you can use this as just simply a stand with the light off. Or what you do is you take him on, and this is the fun part, and you put this head on, and check that out. So I can tell you right now, regardless of which one I go with here, I think I'm going to get a second tea light so they both can light up. But for right now, you know, if you want to go with the cooler, more creativeness, especially that represents Halloween 2018, this is it. That's just phenomenal and really cool. So there you go, guys. You know, let the figure do the talking. You know, what more can I say? So basically, I'll get into really quick what happened here. So when you get the expanded set or the platinum edition, whatever you want to call it, he had 2 advanced sets. He had set A or set 1, set B, or set 2. I don't remember if it was 1 and 2 or A or B. And basically, if you got the whole set, part of the advanced set of set B was getting another coverall set, another body, basically another pair of shoes. So basically, you're getting 2 figures. Okay, so I got set 1 and set 2. So I got the whole deal, including, you know, the pen. So that's why I got 2 full figures. So otherwise, if you get the advanced edition or the regular version, I guess, the standard or whatever the normal one's called, you would just get the 1 figure. If you get the advanced sets, you would get the you know, the battle damaged head in one of them, and you get the hammer. extra things basically depending on which way you go. So basically, because I got the set B as well, which included the extra coveralls, body, and so on for the battle damage sculpt, I was able to have a second figure that I built up. So that's why, you know, there's two figures standing here. That's why there's two boxes. And what I really love that Beto did, and I really am thankful for this, to really go all out with getting the extra body, he did customize it to be for the battle damage head. He's got blood here on the collar that you do not see on this one. Okay, he still has like the damage, like he still has the bullet hole here that matches the bullet hole there. Let me turn the lights back on so you can see better. Hold on. Okay, I just turned the lights back on so you can see better. So you can see it has the same damage there as it does there, but there's additional weathering on here. You can see the blood on the neck and the sculpt. Obviously, there's damage on the mask that you could see straight through to his, you know, head sculpt. You could see the blood on the collar. Okay, you could see that there's a slightly, maybe the camera's not picking up, but there seems to be slightly more dirt or weathering on the coveralls themselves versus this pair. This is a little more clean, and this one has a little bit more, it's like definitely you could see it like right there and right there. And then of course he's got the blood right here, the blood on the sleeve that's due to the damage made from the hand injury where he gets his fingers blown off. So really cool. Shoes are the same. Everything else is pretty much identical. Same body type, same height, everything. It's really, what more can I say? Really well done. It's a really well figure. I really feel like, you know, for what I spent, I got everything I wanted and got my money's worth. Giving me two different complete, you know, giving me two full boxes is really a nice touch. So they each have their own bed to sleep in if I need to store them away. But ultimately, yeah, I mean, hands down. And, you know, what better way to end this video, really? Seriously, it's phenomenal. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. And as my cameras and my SD card is running out of space, so is this video. So is the time. It's upon us, Halloween night, and if all goes well, you'll be watching this on your TV or computer screen or laptop or tablet or cell phone and so on, or streaming it or whatever the heck you do on YouTube. You should be seeing this by Halloween night, or Halloween Eve, I should say. Halloween Eve, the eve of Halloween night. So before 12 a.m. Halloween day, this video will be available, the part 2 of my 1/6 Halloween special edition 2020 edition. So I really appreciate all you guys that have given me really some kind words and feedback and have followed my videos through the years. This was a tough one to pull off. I really had a lot more to show. This was kind of more the way I used to be as far as collecting and what I get. And I'm always looking for new stuff and to celebrate artists that we know and have had great reputation for years, as well as new and up-and-coming artists. And I hope my video expressed that nice blend of the two worlds together. I will be back next year, God willing, for Halloween 2021. And hopefully COVID will be gone, the election will be over, and hopefully life as we know it will be hopefully back to normal. And if not normal, maybe a new normal that'll be for the better. But either way, I look forward to it. Thank you guys. I love all of you. Thank you for standing with me through the years, whether I was missing here, not here fully, part-time, full-time, whatever you call it. You know who you are, the guys that stuck with me or always watched my videos or always reached out to me. I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate all the artists that gave me or sold me the stuff that I have in this video. And, you know, I'm very proud to know all of you and for all of you to watch my stuff and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, what have you, as whether it's Ron Milan or Joebizz34. I appreciate it. Till next year, but I'll be back before then. I'll be back with other videos in between. Peace out. Happy Halloween.